everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, well, I've got an interesting one for you. I'm talking about Commander archetypes that always start arguments and how you can maybe, well, address those ahead of time or fall into the pitfall of not doing that. Let's jump into them. First up, the very first archetype that will always start an argument, the stax tax collector. Yeah, and Grand Arbiter Augustus IV is kind of the, well, poster child of that type of, well, deck strategy. Here's the thing about any of these I do want to say ahead of time. Again, different playgroups play differently, but when it comes to these type of archetypes, always have that conversation ahead of time and say, hey, is everyone okay if I play this type of a deck? Because there are those known strategies like, well, tax, stax collector essentially, Grand Arbiter Augustus IV. Yeah, that is always going to be kind of, well, one that rubs players the wrong way. Let's really quick go through this one. A 2/3 Human Advisor for 4 mana in Azorius. White spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Blue spells cost 1 less to cast. If it was just that, this would not be problematic, but here we go. Spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more to cast, because this, again, is, stacks. It is extra taxes on your opponents. There's different ways to go about stacks, essentially, but still, yeah, very much a stacks commander. It can very much aggravate opponents. I mean, this kind of a commander deck typically is like, oh yeah, other kind of stacksy effects, other kinds of taxing effects, make it so opponents literally can't cast spells, essentially. It's going to rub players the wrong way. And again, some player groups are okay with it. Others, again, or if you're just playing miscellaneously your LGS, essentially, and you don't know the players, you need to ask ahead of time because, well, not everyone's okay with this. Another commander, just to highlight a couple of the top commanders in this category. Winota Join Your Forces is actually one of them, a 4/4 human warrior for 4 mana in Boros. Whenever a non-human creature control attacks, league top 6 cards of your library, put a human creature card from among them on the battlefield, tap them, attacking against indestructible of turn. The rest of cards of bottom of your library in random order. Basically, there are a lot of, well, little tiny humans, even big humans, or even, non-humans. There's a lot of different creatures, essentially, for a Winota deck that you can cheat out that are very staxy-type creatures. So you can just kind of lock down the board, and essentially, again, if you're shutting down players playing spells and things like that, it won't really affect you because you're just getting free things off the top of the library, and you can utilize a bunch of just obnoxious things to do so. Zero the Enchanter, yet another one that is a great stacks commander. Great in that it is very effective. A 1/4 human wizard with flying for 4 mana in Esper. Whenever it attacks, you may search life for an enchantment card with converted mana cost 3 or less, put in the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Basically, hey, yeah, go get that stacks piece. Okay, next turn attack, go get that stacks piece. Okay, next turn attack, go get that stacks piece. You can, just keep tutoring directly into the battlefield some of the most effective stacks cards out there, essentially, and make it so your opponents literally can't do anything. So again, there's a reason why stacks is a, well, strategy type that, yes, is very effective, and in other formats, again, isn't seen as problematic, but in Commander, it is one that you do have to ask ahead of time, hey, are you okay if I play this type of a strategy? Moving on, let's talk about the combo threat type commander. Yeah, there are, again, certain player groups that are okay with very quick combos. There are other player groups that are okay with certain types of combos. Again, if it's like, oh, it's like a 10-card combo, sure, okay, whatever. There's certain groups that are okay with absolutely no combos. But yeah, when it comes to casual commander, comboing off super quickly, I'm talking about, with Stella Lee, you can go, as quickly as, probably, turn, 3? Even quicker for, the high-end decks out there. Just even a regular deck, though, can turn out, turn 3, Stella Lee. Craziness. That being said, Stella Lee Wildcard, a 2/4 human rogue for 3 mana, and is it, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn, you may play that card, basically impulse draw. That's not the problematic part. Tap, copy target, instant sorcery spell you control, 2 targets to the copy, activate only if you've cast 3 more spells this turn. That's the problematic part, where this is super easy to use and abuse. Again, the irony that Wizards literally put this as a commander, a face commander of a precon. They're like, yeah, this is okay. And literally with that precon, if you adjust 3 cards, it already can just be absolutely obnoxious. Okay, maybe even more than 3, but still, you don't have to adjust very many cards at all for it to be like, oh, combo, dramatic reversal type cards like Swirling Wisps, ones that essentially give untap, also maybe untap other things, or untap draw. Yeah, infinite combos are very easy with a commander like this, and again, when you combo off super early, players, who are more casual might not appreciate that because everyone's like, okay, yeah, we're sitting down to play a casual game. I shuffled up my deck, everyone took the time to, get things set up, and all of a sudden, yeah, we're 10 minutes in. It's like, oh, you already won. Okay. Yeah, I thought we were going to be playing for just a little bit longer than that. Okay, yeah, not exactly what I signed up for. Again, ask ahead of time. Some play groups are okay with early combos, but make sure you ask. Another one, Kinnan Bonder Project, kind of toes the line between two of the categories. We'll talk about it in a little bit here. Yeah, Kinnan definitely could be a combo commander too. A 2/2 human druid for 2 mana in Simic. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, and 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. I mean, this plus, Basalt Monolith. Yeah, there you go. 7 mana in total, though. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put a non-human creature card from among them on the battlefield with the rest of your library in random order. I mean, this is a combo enabler on top of a mana sink, essentially. So it's like, yeah, hey, ways to get infinite mana. Very, very, very effective ways to do that with this. On top of that, a way to just go, oh yeah, dump that mana in here and then win. Cool, good for you. Yeah, this is one where, again, it is a super powerful commander. It is super low to the ground. It is super hard to deal with, essentially. And yeah, again, it enables so many different combos. Very powerful commander. How about a more recent one? Vivi Ornator, a 1/0/3. I almost said 1/3. Oh my gosh, a 1/3 would have been so powerful. No, 0/3 wizard for 3 mana. And is it? Pay 0 and X mana, any combination of blue and or red where X is Vivi's power. Activate only during your turn, only once each turn. It would be a little more powerful, I guess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, get a counter on Vivi, deals 1 damage to each opponent. This is one where, again, you might think, again, Wizards did limit it. Like, okay, like, again, they limited Stelly, sure, because it's 3 or less spells. I mean, or 3 or more. No, it's barely limited at all. Vivi, it's like, oh yeah, activate only once during your turn, only once each turn. Only during your turn, you know what I mean. This is one where, yeah, they did limit it, sure. But of course, there are plenty of ways around that, actually. There are ways to, again, if you blink it, you got to reset it, sure. But, I mean, you re-equip something, that gives it a lot of power, like a Black Blader Forge, then you do it again, and again, and again, and again. Yeah, Deadeye Navigator style. Again, a newer combo commander that can do some absolutely crazy things. Definitely a powerful one. Yeah, again, if you've got a combo threat commander and players are a bit salty at you because you didn't reveal it ahead of time that you're going to be comboing, in this kind of a deck very quickly, they might be pretty mad with you. So please, 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 again, it's all about the social contract in commander. Talk ahead of time. Next up, the Group Hug Chaos Agent is what I'm calling this next category. Again, when it comes to Group Hug, there's different kind of, I'd say, levels of Group Hug, essentially. I'm talking about the furthest level of Group Hug that is just all Group Hug. Like, literally just like, hey, all I'm here to do is give everyone else resources, essentially, speed up the game in some ways, help out miscellaneous players in some ways, just, basically deciding here, there, and everywhere who I'm helping out. And I've absolutely no either way to win or no reason that I'm trying to win. I'm not actively trying to win the game. I'm just literally trying to either cause chaos and help players out or just speed up the game, essentially. So, Kineos and Tiro, again, these commanders don't have to be a straight-up just Group Hug commander. But yeah, Group Hug, although it might seem like a archetype that you don't have to essentially talk about ahead of time, like, hey, is everyone okay with this? It really is one, because it does change the entire dynamic of the game. Again, instead of it being like, okay, it's one-on-one-on-one-on-one, right, in a 4-player commander game, it becomes like, oh, like, I just decided that I want to king make that player, so it's kind of like a 2-on-1-on-1 in a way. A 2/8 human soldier, though, for 4 mana and every color but black. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Each player may put a land card from their hand on the battlefield. Each opponent who didn't draws a card. Basically, again, a way to give extra resources to everyone. Again, there's nothing wrong with this commander entirely, essentially. Again, you can build, decks that actually are trying to win around it. You definitely can. But again, if you're just doing this, plus a bunch of other things that just give resources out, and you're literally not trying to win the game at all, yeah, players can definitely become a bit salty about that. Again, Braids, Conjurer Depth. Again, another commander that you can take advantage of. That you can be like, okay, I am building around this to win. A 2/2 human wizard for 4 mana in blue. Date of each player's upkeep, the player puts an artifact, creature, or land card from their hand on the battlefield. Again, cheap big things into play. You can definitely, take the most advantage out of this out of anyone. You can definitely utilize things like, hey, yeah, phase out. Okay, phase back in. Okay, now I can utilize you. Other players can't. There are definitely ways to take advantage of this that other players can't take advantage of, but again, in a straight-up Group Hug strategy, which is like, I play this. Okay, everyone play big things. Yay! And then you don't realize why everyone else is getting upset at the table because they didn't really sign up for that kind of a game. Yeah, that again can be a bit salt-inducing. Or how about Ms. Bumbleflower? Now, this is one where it does, again, kind of toe the line between our last category and this one because Ms. Bumbleflower is actually a combo killer commander, too. But anyways, for a Group Hug, specific Group Hug strategy, this one can get quite annoying as well. A 1/5 Rabbit, Citizen for Vigilance for 4 mana in Bant. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card, put a counter target creature, gains flying till up turn. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, you draw 2 cards. Yeah, again, literally you are just going, okay, extra free resources for people. Again, Bant is a great color combination for just straight up group hug, where it's like, yeah, everyone gets extra free things. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And if you actively aren't trying to win the game, you're going to upset some players out there. So again, ahead of time, even though group hug might not seem like one you need to ask about if the table's okay with, make sure you ask. So yeah, Ms. Bumbleflower could be, hey, I'm trying to combo with it, or hey, I'm trying to group hug. It's somewhere between, maybe you're okay. Next up, let's talk about the Arch Enemy Magnet, just the overpowered commanders. And this is one where, again, you might get some eye rolls at the table if everyone's like, oh, you're playing Yuriko. Okay, yeah, I've never played against Yuriko before. Wow. Yeah, these are overpowered commanders that can definitely rub players the wrong way, especially since they are incredibly popular ones too, and players have seen them again and again and again and again. And you're probably not bringing anything unique with your deck, no offense, but you're probably not bringing anything overly unique with your Yuriko deck if it's hyper-tuned essentially to be super effective. That player's like, oh yeah, that's interesting. That's like, okay, yeah, you've got a Yuriko deck. It does the Yuriko thing. Okay, it's very powerful. It's, well, I mean, again, like a game-changer commander. Cool, good for you. This is one that can be salt-inducing, even though you might not think it is. It definitely can be. A 1/3 human ninja for 3 mana in Dimir. Commander Jitsu for 2 mana basically just means you can cheat this out and never pay commander tax. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat to your player, reveal the top card of your library within your hand. Each opponent gets drained based on the card's mana value. Yeah, this is a very quick, very effective commander, again, that is impossible to deal with because even if it is taken out, it literally just keeps costing 2 mana because all you need to do is just get a creature through, which we've got plenty of low-to-the-ground evasive creatures. Get them through, then you cheat this back out, and you're like, okay, cool, all right, you thought you dealt with it, you didn't. Another one, Kenny the Return King. Now this one can actually go in like group hug as well too, but still, a 5, and actually combos all. Kenny fits in all the categories. A 5/5 human noble for 5 mana. Yeah, this one is a Woober commander to go, the best color combination. By paying a red, trample and haste all creatures. By paying 1 in a green, counter target creature, 3 mana in white, target player gains 5 life, 4 mana in blue, target player draws a card, and 5 mana in black. Basically reanimate a creature for the, player whose graveyard that was. So this is one that you could go, okay, you definitely could go group hug. You're like, okay, I benefit everyone. Most decks aren't doing that. Most are more so either combo or, again, it's just like an oppressively powerful commander that is just a Swiss Army knife that literally does everything for you. It's a lot of fun, but it's also one that, again, players have seen a ton. It's very popular. I believe it is the, I guess Ur-Dragon. It's the most popular 5-color, just general commander, I would say, that isn't like, tied to like, hey, like tribal or anything like that. This is one that, again, players have seen a lot of, and they might just be tired of, and it is incredibly powerful. And yeah, you probably should be like, hey, is everyone okay with playing against Kenny? Unless you're doing like something just like random and janky, and you're like, yeah, it's just like a Kenny deck that's based around, Zernorb for some reason. Cool, all right, awesome. Anyways, Corvold Faker's King, yet another oppressively powerful commander, one that can have some obnoxiously long turns as well. 4/4 Dragon Noble flying for 5 mana in Jund. Whenever it enters or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. When you sacrifice a permanent, put a counter in Corvold and draw a card. Yeah, this one is so good. I mean, like, again, when it comes to Wizards, like, limiting cards, they really didn't do this. Maybe because they're trying to push Brawl. Brawl is never going to be a thing, Wizards. Okay, anyways. Definitely not in paper, I should say. Anyways. This is one where it's like, yeah, okay, very, very powerful. It did not need the enter or attack trigger. It did not need the counter on Corvold. It could have literally just been like, you take off all the things on this card. It could have been a 1/1 for this same mana value that said, hey, when you sacrifice a permanent, draw a card, and it would still be oppressively powerful. Like, literally. This is a commander that you just go, okay, like, I played Evolving Wilds. I sacrificed it. Wow, I draw a card, and I get the counter on this commander. It's so powerful. Your turns can be so long. You play treasures. You draw cards. It's crazy as well. And of course, this can become easily a 2-shot, if not a 1-shot KO with this commander in absolutely no time. Again, very, very powerful commanders. Again, Arch Enemy Magnets are definitely annoying to some playgroups because, well, number one, they've seen that commander again and again and again. You can have oppressively long turns. You can have commanders that are just impossible to deal with. Or again, it's just kind of, okay, I've seen that so many times and it's so powerful. Sure, I'm just trying to play my really janky deck built around Feldergriff. Can't you just let me do that? Next up, the Trust Me Political Commander is what I'm going to call this one. Yeah, politics are something that is definitely a skill in Commander. It is a skill that not all players have. I am not very good at politics, I will say. It's something I probably should work on, but I'm just not good at it. Anyways. Queen Marchesa is kind of, to me, the epitome of a politic commander, one that is so good at manipulating the table, about turning players on each other, and essentially saying like, hey, I'm not doing much over here. Don't worry about me. I'm just trying to help out. I mean, not like group hug, I guess, in a way, but it's like, you know, I'm just trying to police the table in some ways. Don't worry about me over here. And then all of a sudden, the knife just, you know, underneath the ribs, game over. 3/3 Human Assassin with Death Touch and Haste for 4 mana, and Mardu, a good color combination for politics. Enters the battlefield to become the Monarch at the beginning of your upkeep. If an opponent is the Monarch, create a 1/1 black assassin creature with Death Touch and Haste. Bringing Monarch in there is a really good political tool. It's a really good way to incentivize players to attack each other as well. It is one where, yeah, you definitely can really kind of dominate the table once you really get a hold on it too. It is a commander that definitely can, again, with all the resources that you have in these 3 colors, utilize the kinds of cards to police the table in some ways, to incentivize opponents to, you know, do your dirty work for you in some ways. It is a commander that can definitely do that. One that's a bit more upfront about that, though, Zancha Sleeper Agent, you can still politic with, and you definitely will politic with, a 5/5 Phyrexian minion for 3 mana and Rakdos. Enters the battlefield of your choice of opponent of your choice. The control of opponent of your choice. There we go. Attacks each combat fable and can attack its owner, planeswalker, its owner's controls. By paying 3, its owner or controller loses 2 life, and you draw a card. Owner would be so much worse. Any player may activate this ability. Basically, it's one where you go like, okay, I'm playing this. Okay, what will all of you do for me so I don't put it into play under your control? Then you get drained by everyone being like, well, I do like drawing cards. Yeah, you can make deals with this one ahead of time. Again, like, it is one where it's like, hey, it is a very hard thing to get past if you are the first player chosen with this, because everyone is going to be like, well, I could draw cards, and then they start draining you. It's a good way to essentially just really take a player out super quickly for the right build around this one, especially if you're building like really mana-intensive ones where you're actually drawing an absurd amount of cards with it too. It is one where, yeah, the politics is definitely a bit more upfront in some ways than maybe a Queen Marchesa, but still very effective. Tivit Cellar Secrets, again, could also be in the combo, discussion I talked about earlier, but for a non-combo Tivit, it's definitely very political. A 6/6 Sphinx Rogue, Flying Ward, 3/4, 6 mana and Esper. Enters the battlefield or deals combo to a player, starting with you. Each player votes for evidence or bribery. For each evidence vote, you investigate. For each bribery vote, treasure. While voting, you may vote an additional time. I mean, obviously, you control your own votes, so you're like, okay, yeah, probably treasure is what you're doing. But again, when it comes to this kind of Council's Dilemma type thing, there's a lot of other political cards around that kind of like, okay, let's do some voting. You can definitely incentivize players to vote in certain ways. You can make deals with players to vote in certain ways. Again, on the turn that you're like, okay, yeah, I attack with this. Hey, I really could use 1 extra mana. And so, like, if you vote for me to get a treasure, I will help you in this way. And I'll cast this card, which will help you in that way. So, yeah, there definitely going to be some politics with that as well. And again, for players that maybe aren't as good at politicking or kind of like just don't, maybe haven't played Commander long enough to understand that aspect of Commander, it might rub them the wrong way too. So it is something that, yeah, you do have to realize that there is a bit of saltiness sometimes when it comes to politics because, well, it can definitely rub players the wrong way. Okay, one that I will say that there is, like, again, like a lot of these you could, like, argue against, like, well, that's just something that's built into Magic. That's just something that's built into Magic. Yes, a lot of these. I mean, Stax is probably the least arguable, I would say, for Commander, for players to be like, I should play whatever I want. Not in Casual. Land Destruction is also one where it's like pretty apparent that it's like, yeah, players, just casual players do not like Land Destruction. Mass Land Destruction, I should say. Lord Windgrace is a fantastic Land Destruction commander. A 5, starting loyalty, Windgrace, 5 mana in Jund, +2, discard a card, draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, you may draw a additional card. -3, trip to 2 target land cards to your grave of the battlefield. And -11, destroy 6 target non-land permanents. Oh, look, it's not a Land Destruction commander. Yeah, okay. Anyways, and then create 6/2/2 Cat Warriors. Can be your commander. This is one where essentially you go, okay, I just dominate the board. I just go, okay, wipe the board and also wipe out all the lands. And when this is in play, I'm just like, okay, -3. After I've built up, some loyalty, basically, I go, -3. All right, cool. Yeah, I get 2 lands back. You just keep having, other ways to get lands back too. And you are able to reset whereas your opponents cannot. And you just keep wiping the board of its lands. And you're like, yeah, okay, there's no recovering from that. Makes the game really slow for players as well. Players just don't like when their lands are touched, essentially. Azazelon, Shaper of Sand is yet another great one. Yeah, this color combination is quite deadly for land destruction. Obviously, being in white, you get access to some fantastic land destruction spells. 3/3 Human Warrior for 3 mana in Naya. Desert Walk, when play desert lands from your graveyard. Whenever a desert enters battlefield under control, create 2 1/1 red, green, white, and Sand Warrior creature tokens. Now, here's the thing about this one again. yeah, okay. I mean, like, you're making a bunch of Sand Warriors, good for you. Maybe winning the game with that can happen quite quickly, but it also can be a bit slow depending on, if board wipes have happened. But yeah, just going, okay, like, again, I Armageddon, all right, all the lands are gone, and then I slowly build up my lands again because I can play lands from my graveyard. Opponents who might not have lands in their hand essentially are like, I'm just stuck, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I can just play the lands out of my graveyard, even though I destroyed them all. Okay, cool. If players catch back up, I'll just destroy them again with your, little army in play. It is one, again, that can be quite obnoxious for the right build, and one that I actually built as a, Lose Your Friends deck. Make sure you check that one out. Svella Ice Shaper, again, ask ahead of time, especially with land destruction. If your friends, if your playgroup, if those are all just okay with you playing it. Yeah, even this uncommon commander for 11 cents can be super, super effective as a land destruction commander. 2/4 Troll Warrior for 3 mana in Gruul. By paying 3, you tap it, you make a colorless no artifact token named Icy Mana with a taps for 1 mana of any color. Basically the same mana rock. By paying 8 mana in total, you tap, you look at the top 4 cards of your library, cast 1 for free. Rest of the bottom of your library in random order. This is one where, again, yeah, you can just build up those extra resources by going like, okay, I'm just building a bunch of mana rocks, so I don't care about lands, essentially. And I go, okay, I destroy all the lands. Cool, they're gone, and all of a sudden, I've got resources, you don't, I'm fine, you're not. Yeah, it can be definitely one that can rub players the wrong way. And finally, just Cody in general. Okay, I'm just kidding. Anyways, the Gimmick decks is what I want to say. And not every Cody deck is a Gimmick deck, but the ones that I built are. And I do want to say that they can be salt-inducing if you don't ask ahead of time. You need to ask ahead of time, and I've said this on the episode where I built this one, okay? At least I hope I did. I'm pretty sure I did. You need to ask ahead of time if you're going to play Cody Hypergenesis. Now, Cody, basically, we'll get to that card here in a second. Cody is a 1/4 construct for 3 mana. You can't cast permanent spells. By paying 4, you tap, you add Wooburg, and then basically when you cast your next spell, you exile 2 hidden instant or sorcery that's smaller, okay? It's basically like Cascade, but specifically for instant sorceries. Then you can cast that for free. And so because of that, you can build really weird, janky kind of decks around, I don't know, Hypergenesis that has no mana cost. But technically, again, if you're like cascading in that way, it costs 0. And essentially, if you're casting any spell that costs 1, you're gonna hit it because it's your only 0 mana cost spell in the deck. So you're like just building the deck around casting this spell as quickly as possible. Spend 3 for 3 mana. Starting with you, each player may put an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land on the hand of the battlefield. Repeat this process until it puts a card on the battlefield. Basically, we're just going around the table and braidsing all the time, basically. So we just get to go, okay, dump everything from my hand onto the table, and then all of a sudden, yeah, we're not really playing Magic anymore. Essentially, this is what this card does. You're just like, okay, we're cheating on mana, we're just cheating on everything, we're just dumping our hands on the battlefield and seeing what happens. Yay! And yeah, if you just out of left field do this to players, they're probably going to be upset depending on the play group. So yeah, make sure you ask ahead of time if they're up for a Gimmick deck. If they're up for, you don't necessarily have to say exactly what's going to happen because, yeah, I mean, you should in some ways. But you can be like, okay, this is going to be a deck that really changes the entire aspects of the game. It makes it into a completely different kind of Magic. Is everyone okay with this type of a deck? If they need a little more detail, yeah, Hypergenesis, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, I typically do bring up that this is a Hypergenesis deck. Is everyone okay with that ahead of time? I'm okay with giving up, the actual, intent of the deck, essentially, for that. But yeah, make sure you give it up ahead of time because players are going to be a bit salty about it. If not, it's just not a nice thing to do. I mean, like my other deck, too, and I did mention this on this episode as well. My 99 lands Child of Alar deck, one of my most popular episodes of all time. Yeah, you need to ask ahead of time if you're playing this, okay? Yes, I understand that building a deck with 99 lands is not the most efficient thing, okay? But it is, and it is intended to be a deck that is slow in plotting and wipes the board so many times. It is a Gimmick deck, but it is one that you do need to ask ahead of time and say, hey, as to not upset every single player here, is everyone okay with a 99 lands Child of Alar deck where I am intending to wipe the board as much as I can? 6/6 Avatar Trample for 5 mana and Wooburg, best color combination. Dies to all non-land permanents that can't be regenerated. Basically, you're utilizing this, plus lands that make you sacrifice it to go, hey, cool, alright, in play, lands, yeah, oh, the board's getting scary, sacrifice it, you're gone, everything blows up, okay, next turn, Chavlar again, yay, hit my land drops, yay, oh, the board's getting scary, blow it up again, yeah, you need to ask ahead of time, it can be very salt-inducing. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.